What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm really excited about today's video because we are doing blog post reviews. So if you've been around on my channel a while, you know that I've done writing portfolio, website reviews. If you haven't seen those, you need to watch them because they're pretty good. I'll link one of them above. But now I want to do some blog post reviews. So what I did is I went into the Writing Revolters Facebook group, which, by the way, totally free community of over 10,000 writers. I will link that down below in the description box. Definitely check that out and join. But yeah, I went into there and asked you guys to submit blog posts for me to review. You guys did, and you did an awesome job. So thank you so much to everyone who participated. I did choose just 3 for this video that we are going to talk about. So yeah, let's just jump right in. I'm going to share my screen with you. You and I are going to look at these blog posts and we will get started. All right, so the first post here, we've got 5 reasons why your business needs a freelance writer to succeed. Love that this is a list post. It's very specific to freelance writing, etc. All that is really good. Oh, and by the way, before we actually dive into the tips, I do want to let you guys know that this is not going to be me proofreading shit. This is going to be a big picture marketing look at these blog posts about how these can be improved from a marketing standpoint. So I'm not going to sit here and nitpick every single tiny little detail. I'm going to give some really good big picture tips so that these blog posts can be improved from a marketing perspective. And I'm not going to hold back just because that's not doing you guys any favors. We got to keep it real so you guys can learn how to improve your blog posts so you can charge more. So anyway, let's get back to the blog post. All right, so we've got the 5 reasons why your business needs a writer. Cool. The first thing I'm noticing is that there is no introduction. So introductions are super important because they are how you hook the reader. You can also use them to establish your brand voice. You can use them to build trust. All these things that really hooks the reader and keeps them reading, which you want them to keep reading your blog post, right? So Annalise, I would say it looks like you are off to a great start here with this little section, but I would still put an introduction right here above that first point. Really important. And I actually have a blog post and a video on blog post structure, so I will link that above my head right now if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, definitely add an introduction there and use that to your advantage to hook the reader. Now, I do love that you have this header right here. It's a strong header. It makes sense. You've got subheaders. So just glancing at this, Annalise, you've done a really great job of breaking this up. You've used varied text. You've used white space, you've used all these things, imagery. This is really great formatting. So those of you who are watching right now, learn from this formatting. Look at this blog post. It is done right from a formatting standpoint. So let's just keep scrolling on down here. It looks like we've got point number 2. Another good header. We've got some more formatting that looks really awesome. So lots of variation here still. We've got some italicized text and image. This helps the reader keep reading and makes the content more digestible, which is great. And it looks like the blog post is just super solid other than that. You've got a really strong call to action in your conclusion here. Contact me today, which is great. So the only other thing I would really say about this from a big picture marketing standpoint, Annalise, is to make your blog posts more specific if you're going to do this kind of topic, but maybe reconsider which topics you're writing about, because someone who is wondering why they need a freelance writer is probably not going to be the best target client for you. So high paying good clients tend to already know the benefits of working with a freelance writer, right? They don't need to be really convinced. And essentially what you're doing with this blog post topic is you're convincing them. You're having to convince them why they need a writer. High-paying clients don't need to be convinced. So I would say maybe pick some other topics who are aimed at those clients in your niche specifically, by the way. That's another thing you'll want to do. But aim for those clients who are further down the sales funnel, who know their shit, who already know, and they're really more in a position to hire a writer. But other than that, add the introduction. You did a great job of formatting, so overall, really great job. So let's move on to the next post here, and it is called It's All About You, and it looks like this is a bit of a motivational post. We've got some mildly disturbing pictures over here of toenail fungus, so that's interesting, and I don't see a name here. So the first thing I'm going to say is definitely it looks like this is some sort of personal blog. I would say the person's name, but I don't see the name anywhere. You definitely need to work on the format formatting of the site a bit. I would remove the ads because chances are at first, if you're trying to get clients with this or build a brand, you're not going to want to have ads on your website. You want to focus on your own calls to action and the things you are selling instead of driving traffic away from your website. So do keep that in mind. And of course, you want to customize further. These things over here, everything should be custom. But as far as the topic and headline, that needs to be more specific. And I know things can be different in the self-development and self-help niche, which I should probably scroll and see if that's what this is. Yes, it looks like that's what this is. Things are a little bit different. You're not really always doing like list posts or more traditional clickbait type of stuff, but I still want to know why I should read this. What am I going to learn? How is my life going to improve by reading this blog post? And right now I'm not getting that from the headline. So definitely change this headline, make it stronger, make it more to the point. Use a headline formula that is proven to convert. By the way, quick shameless self-promo here. I do have a course on how to write blog posts that you can charge $200 to $400 per post for, and that's if you're doing freelance blogging client work. I will link that course above my head right now, down below in the description box, down below in the pinned comment, everywhere, so you guys can't miss it. Definitely go check that course out if you want to become a full-time freelance blogger. But let's get back to this blog post and check out the rest of the structure. So it looks like we've got maybe a Pinterest graphic here. It's this kind of vertical square. I do these too, but I'm not sure if this is optimized for Pinterest or if you're using it for that. I would say maybe if that's for Pinterest, optimize it more for Pinterest. And let's see what else we've got going on here. It looks like we have got, all right, it's all one kind of wall of text. So here's something you do not want to do in your blog post, because even if you're giving great advice, great encouragement, great content, which it looks like you have some good advice and you are trying to be encouraging here, but the thing is, people are not going to give it the time of day or read it if it's a big wall of text like this. Here's what people are going to do. They're going to land on your website, they're going to skim it and say, okay, this looks too overwhelming, here's this giant paragraph, and then they're not going to read it and they're going to miss out on your awesome tips and content. So like I said, it looks like you have some great advice to give here and some great thoughts to share, but you do need to break it up more. So look at the formatting in the blog post we just covered before this one, how it's broken up with white space, with imagery, all those things, and that's going to give you some great tips and a great kind of reference point for how to break up your blog posts. But it does look like you are super passionate about what you are sharing. It looks like you are really encouraging. You have a really nice brand voice that is very motivating. You're telling people to keep on moving, don't complain, don't compare. It's not your life that's stopping you, it's you. And that's great. That's really motivating. I love that kind of content. Pretty much everybody loves that kind of content, and it looks like you really have a lot of valuable insight and things to say. I just think you need to work on how to present your blog posts from a marketing perspective. Really, really important, because you can have the best content on the whole fucking internet and no one's gonna read it if you don't have a headline that drives clicks, the right topic, the right formatting, the right blog post structure, etc. So learn all of those things and make sure you are implementing that in all of your blog posts. All right, on to the third blog post we're going to talk about today. I did cheat and I went ahead and looked at some of it, but it is 5 steps to reduce work and raise restaurant profits. So love that you've got 5 steps. I would say maybe just kind of like the first one. You can throw a little adjective in there, 5 simple steps, 5 mind-blowing steps, whatever, to just make it a little more clickable. But I do like that you have the benefit of the post right here, reducing work and raising profits. That's what business owners want, right? So that's a really good angle to go from. And I can tell right away, Rocco, when I scan your post, you are doing formatting right. Look at this. You've got bolded text. You are drawing the eyes to the most important points. You have headers. You got these little fancy lines that break up the text. You've got imagery. So just skimming, you've got lists. You've got more imagery. You've got headers, subheaders. And again, this is what people are going to do on the internet. They're going to first skim your blog post and say, okay, is this going to be easy to read? Is it going to be digestible? If they say no, because you haven't broken up the text, then they're going to leave, and that's not good for you. But what Rocco has done here is he has broken it up in a really, really super effective way. So again, this is another great example of really good blog post formatting. You've really got the eyes drawn to the important points here, which is great. So you also do have an introduction, it looks like, and this is really just like a really in-depth ultimate guide style post, but you do have these headers with the 5 steps, so that is really good. Now let's see what your conclusion is looking like. It looks like your call to action is you're asking for comments and engagement. So I would say, Rocco, think about the big picture. What is your goal with this blog post? Are you really wanting comments and engagement, or is it more effective for you if you are targeting restaurants to say, hey, contact me. Here's a link to my optimized writer website that shows why I'm the best restaurant/food writer. Something like that is going to be such a stronger call to action for you, especially if you are newer to freelance writing or you really are at a point where you want to get clients. You want to do things that are going to directly lead to sales for you. So if you are not directing people to your niche optimized website, you can at least use a call to action to get them on your email list, something like that, where you are getting a direct business benefit of this person reading this post that you've clearly put a shit ton of time and effort into because it looks really good. So overall, this blog post is great. The only other thing I would say about it is I would like to see a little bit more of your personality. Doesn't mean you have to swear every 10 seconds like I do sometimes. It just means show a little bit more of who you are. Put your own personal brand in there. Are you funny? Are you really caring? Think about how you can inject your personality into your writing tone so you can really make that connection with the reader. But other than that, and other than the little conclusion thing, great job on the formatting especially. This looks really, really good. And you guys remember, I do have a course on how to write blog posts from a marketing perspective. It's going to teach you exactly what clients are looking for in blog posts, like SEO, headlines, formatting, structure, a lot of the shit that we've talked about today. So you can charge $200 to $400 plus per blog post confidently, instead of almost shitting yourself just to charge $50 or less per post and staying broke as fuck. So check that course out. I will link it above my head and down below so you can't miss it. And that is all for today's video, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. Also comment below if you have a link to a blog post you'd like me to review in the next video like this one, because I love doing these types of videos. I would totally love to do more. Just leave your link to your blog post, not your website, but one specific blog post down below, and I will check them out and hopefully do another video like this one. Also, follow me on Instagram. I share a shit ton of writing tips and all kinds of good stuff over there, just like this writing tip right over here. So Instagram.com/JordanMcKell, that is me. Head over there and give me a follow. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.